Can Ukraine ensure the democratic integrity of its elections?
Well, in general, actually, elections shows this integrity because I would say that for the first time, elections are not dividing Ukraine on different parts, east, west, or north. So actually, the candidates unite people all around the country, and I would say that this is for the first time we have such a kind of situation. The question is what will be after the elections, and here the problem is whether the president who will be victorious, he will win in I would say right way, justice way, and in this case I think democracy will preserve the state and society at all.
Are economic reform proposals of the leading candidates addressing key economic needs?
That's a complicated question because if you look to the agenda, it's totally economic. So only the question of war is competing with the economic issues. But the problem is that the proposals not always correspond with the things which should be done. I mean that we suffer from the global disease of populism, and normally people address the issues which normally people support, but this is not the things which should be done. For example, the question of selling the land. For example, most of candidates, they refuse to raise this issue because most of population do not support this position. So, and this also creates some stress for the future president when he proposes some things, but the way to achieve the things is not actually what people expect from him. So such kind of candidates, they create a problem for themselves in the future when they will be in power and do not meet the expectation of people. They will lose this power very quickly.
How will the elections impact resolution of the conflict in the East?
Well, I would say that most of candidates avoid this question. Why? Well, there is some objective reasons why they do this, and some subjective. For objective reasons, the question is that Ukraine is not the place where we can solve this conflict. The resolution of this conflict is not in Ukraine, it's in Moscow or in Brussels or in Washington. Ukrainians themselves cannot beat the nuclear power state, as Russians is. And the subjective reasons is that actually the situation is very complicated to make some forecasts how it will develop. So candidates normally they cannot have a systemic approach what they can do to solve these issues. So in general, I would say they try to avoid this issue and more focus on some economic problems and less talking on how they can solve the conflict on Donbass and return the Crimea.